Hello friends, welcome to Kavita's Classroom. So today we're going to talk about the merit and demerit goods, how the information failure or information asymmetry results into the market failure, and how the provision of the information is a solution to the market failure situation. So let's proceed further, and before anything, let's discuss the meaning of merit goods or demerit goods. So, merit goods are those goods which carry a positive externality of consumption. Means if it is consumed by one, the third party gets to have the positive impact. And the best possible example is the health and education. If a person is healthy, it's not merely a boon for him. He's going to get good income, good health, good productivity, but that leads to the betterment for the nation also. The producer, the nation also is getting to have a better output, better GDP. Government also would have taxes, so the infrastructure would develop. Similarly, an educated person gets to have the benefits of education in terms of good job, good salaries, good standard of living, but he promotes that education carries on to the generations, right? So that also the viewpoint, the thinking, so it's not merely benefiting him but also to the society as a whole. So when we talk about merits goods, we must understand that merit goods, when are discussed, it means these should be consumed more, but these are consumed less. So the situation with merit goods is underconsumption. Underconsumption means the allocated, just see this diagram, this D is the downward sloping demand curve, S is the upward sloping supply curve, intersecting each other at E, determining QA, the allocative output by the market, and the price. Right. But the output which is allocated by the market is lesser than the social optimal level of output, because these things do carry positive impact for the whole nation, right? So it means it has the benefit, the private benefit is this lower, but it has got a social benefit which is lying above the private benefit. So it means if, so what is the solution? Till this point, we had been talking about the gap. The gap is this much gap, and the gap is this vertical gap, right? And it says that allocated output is this, and socially required output is this. So there is a loss, And how do we find loss? There is always uh, one thing to be remembered, that loss always points towards the social output level, and this is the gap between what is the actual situation and what should be the situation, right? So this is the gap. So how to bridge this gap? So this can be bridged by the positive advertising, and that's how, by MPB, means the marginal private benefit. When is given addition of positive advertising, it gives rise to MSB, means the marginal social benefit, then it matches. So with the help of as advertising, the positive advertising, this consumption can be increased to socially optimal levels of output. And this is how this problem of information failure or information asymmetry is catered to. When we say information failure, it means those who are consuming it, they do not know what is the benefit to them and to the society. Or when we say information asymmetry means it is there with them, but it is less than the depth which is required to be. Means people do not know the whole aspect, all other benefits also. They half-heartedly know the benefits, right? So on a very similar note, when we talk about the negative advertising for demerit goods, what is this situation? So this is again a consumption situation. Please stay informed that whenever we are talking about positive or negative externality of consumption goods would have two curves showcased in terms of demand curve. Supply curve remains unimpacted. On a very similar note, here also we have shown supply curve, just a single supply curve, which showcases both the levels MSC as well as MPC, marginal social cost and marginal private cost is showcased by this upward moving supply curve. But when we have a demerit good, means the good having a negative externality. So here the private benefit is showcased by the demand curve, right? But it has got a social benefit which is negative. It is giving negative impact to the society as a whole. So here MSB is lesser than this situation. So when demand and supply intersect, they determine the equilibrium, and this is QA is the allocative efficiency which is done by the demand and supply forces in the market, right? But this is not the optimal one. Why? Because it's creating bad impact to the society. What are these types of goods? For example, the tobacco, liquor, anything which is giving bad effect, bad health effect, the excessive intake of sugary things, oily things, you know. So all these things are bad. And what are they doing? They are creating extra draining of the health services, the police services, the administrative services for the nation, hence are bad. So the crux of the story is it's over consumed, and the remedy is it should be under consumed. The consumption should be brought lower. So what is the remedy? Negative advertising would overcome this information failure, and negative advertising means we should clearly give out what are the negative effects of consuming these, so that people, those who are consuming these, should consume less, right? So if we want to show the welfare laws here, can we? Yes, welfare laws always points towards social optimum level of output. So this diagram, which showcases the gap between what is the actual situation and what is the desired situation, but the triangle should be pointing towards the social optimal level of output. So this is the gap. Right. So how is it fulfilled? By negative advertising. So we have showcased MSB curve, which is lower than the demand curve. And what is it equal to? MPB plus negative advertising. So when we advertise it in a negative manner, that it carries negative effects for the economy as a whole. So the new equilibrium is restored here at E dash, and new quantity would be, sorry. So this is new equilibrium with new price and new quantity. So socially desired level of optimal output is this one, SO. Right. So this is how, by advertising it in a proper manner, clearly giving what are the hard or the bad effects on the society of this consumption are, we can simply curb on the consumption of these demerit goods in the society. I hope the things are clear. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. See ya.